What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to another beer review here at Thomas Opent, where we are diving into what is not only one of my favorite breweries in the Netherlands, but also one of my favorite styles. It is Marrella smoked Märzen by the Kromme Haring. It's a 6.3% ABV. That's kind of on the higher side ABV for a smoked Märzen, for Märzen in itself. Um, it's in their Cambrian series. 541 million years ago, the Cambrian explosion saw a radiation of complex marine species from which life evolved as we know it today. Our Cambrian series is where our experiments, one-offs, and collaborations explode into being, where ideas come to life as beer, no matter how short-lived. Last summer, Team Haring went on a research trip to Bamberg, the capital of smoked lagers. Marrella is the result of the vast amount of knowledge consumed in there. Of course, vast amounts of knowledge consumed there. Prost. The only thing we fear is shitty beer. The best before date is January 2023. Now I'm assuming this means that it's probably a couple of months old now, like 4 months maybe. The ingredients are Rauchmalz, Munich, Melanoiden Carafa, and the hops are Hercules Tettnanger, and the yeast is W34/70 for those who care about it. It's vegan friendly, if that's important to you. One of the reasons I picked this up is, first of all, like I said, I love the Kromme Haring. I love smoked Märzen. I have two smoked beers from the Netherlands that are absolutely fucking top notch. One of it, and I've talked about that before, is Koud Vuur by Bucks. It's a smoked porter, and the other one is Old Smoky, another smoked porter, higher up maybe, by Kromme Haring. I always love to try more smoked stuff from a brewery that I love that already has a smoked beer that I love. I'm always curious about that. I mean, everybody knows my love for smoked beers, for smoked Märzens. And they're talking about Bamberg, the classic Schlenkela, which is, of course, what you think of when you think of a smoked Märzen. So let's see what this does in terms of, well, everything really. So it pours exactly what you would think a Märzen would pour like. It has that deep sort of amber color. Um, very clear as clear can be, exactly as you want it to be. It's got a slightly off-white head. I mean, it's white, but it's not like white, not neon white. And it looks exactly the part. I can, this is as fucking clear as clear beer can be. It looks the part. The only thing I'm a little bit curious about, usually when I open a smoked beer, I already get whiffs, and I'm not getting any whiff of anything smoked at the moment. But we'll see what happens when we dive in. So let's go for it, right? Let's see what she does in the nose. It's smoked. It's just not. So it's definitely smoked. It's just not near that level of, what you. They mentioned it themselves. It's not on that level of, for example, the Schlenkela Märzen. If I were to compare this to a Schlenkela, it would be the Helles, which has a softer smoke, a more subtle smoke. It is that same sort of like barbecue pork, sweet, sweet candied. When you think about pork that's been like slow roasted and smoked, and you get the fat dripping off of it, and you get that sort of caramelized sweetness that you see from the pork skin and the meat and the fat and the glaze and everything, and yeah, that's that kind of fat that you're getting, smoke that you're getting. So it is good on that. You get that, you get a sweet caramel vibe, sort of like honey on warm, darker bread. You're getting that. It's definitely all in there. I'm kind of missing that sort of soft sulfur note at the moment, but maybe that's something that we're going to find later on. I've said this before, and I say this in many reviews. Give things time. Some notes will pop up later. You have to let the beer breathe. Maybe the smoke is a bit too much at first, and then when you start, getting used to it, you start picking up more subtle notes in the beer itself. So let's see what happens after a little while. I like this. So there's a soft sort of vegetal thing in the background. Maybe. Let's see what she does in terms of flavor. Cheers, guys. That's odd. It doesn't look like it has lots of carbonation. Like, it looks almost flat right now. There's no bubbles. But it's quite effervescent. It sort of evaporates in the mouth pretty quickly. leaving this bready, malty, biscuity, smoky, sweet, lingering thing. And I like it, but I'm also not super impressed by it at the moment. Yeah, I mean, right now the biggest letdown is the mouthfeel. The mouthfeel is very light and effervescent. When you're talking about a 6.3% ABV Märzen, you expect a little bit more oomph. I mean, it's not gonna be up there at like your 14% ABV oat, barley, and wheat kind of based, rye based imperial stouts with lactose and whatever, building up huge mouthfeel. Of course, it's not going to be on that level, but you'd expect a little bit more than this. The biggest letdown here right now is that mouthfeel, that it's a bit too effervescent. It just sort of evaporates in the mouth very quickly. I'm not really feeling like um, it lingers in the mouth too much. Other than that, though, I like it. It's a good example of a smoked Märzen. It has what it should do. I mean, it's got that sweet smoke that you want. It's got that caramelly. For me, like with the Vienna lager and Märzen, what I often find is you have that sort of honey on toasted, warm bread, darker bread. That's what you're getting, and I'm getting that. I'm getting that grainy quality from the malts, which you want. You want that malty, grainy note in a good way. Not like the unboiled grapes, but you get that. You get what I mean. There is that soft sulfuric vegetable note in the background. It is there. It's not very intense, and it doesn't have to be very intense, but it's something that I like in my German style lagers. So it is there. It could have been, for my personal taste, a little bit more, but that's just me being an asshole. I do very much appreciate this beer. I do very much like it. It is just not. I mean, some styles are very hard to get 100% as good as where the OGs come from. I don't know what it is. I mean, for Schlenkerla, like that place is infused with smoke. They smoke their own malts, so everything there is like um, permeated with that intense smokiness. And maybe that's what makes it a little bit more special to have that actual, you know, Schlenkerla. And if you hold things to that level, maybe that's my issue here. If I take that down and just approach this as what it is, a smoked Märzen, it is definitely fucking delicious. And I mean, I should turn that, you can't help but do that when you think about a smoked Märzen. You go to that. Like, when you think about certain beer styles, you go to certain OGs. If you want like something, if you think about a Kolsch, you want to think about, you go to the OG Kolsch. But you really shouldn't do that. You should just appreciate what you have in the glass. And if I do that, if I switch all of that off and go back to what I have in front of me right now, it is just fucking delicious. And I could crush this. That's the only thing though, baby. It is 6.3 ABV, and that's not high, but it would be great if this was just like slightly lower, like maybe that 5.1, 5.5 range. But that's just me being an asshole again. I love this beer. I love this beer. I like this beer. I love Kromme Haring. I might just actually I still have a can of the old Smoky, that smoked porter. I might just actually crack one of those open later and enjoy that, or whatever. But this is just good stuff, and I like it. And that's it for this review. If you liked it, hit like. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. In the description box below, you'll find links to all of my social media and links to the Dutch Beer Collective and mysterybeer.nl. In the comments section below, drop some comments. Have you had this beer? Do you like smoked beer? What is your favorite smoked beer of all time? And leave some comments. I always love those. And I'll see all of you guys in another review soon. Cheers.